Hello YouTube, Mewtwo here with another package and pickups video. Only a few bits today, but I wanted to do a video just to kind of get stuff off my chest, I suppose. The first few bits here were local, so I picked up this Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg for the Nintendo GameCube. Nice complete copy, €1 in a charity shop. Like, the disc is in great condition and the light is reflecting, so it's hard to see, but it was €1, so I said, what the hell? It's by Sega. It's probably reasonable. It's actually by Sonic Team. So even when I'm doing Nintendo stuff, it seems it goes back to Sega. So you can't go wrong at a euro for pretty much any game. And while you can't go wrong at a euro, I picked up this in CEX for 10 cents. And I had been thinking, and I picked up this a little while ago, what is the cheapest that you could possibly pick up a new game? Or a game in a kind of a formal retail shop. Now I know that's the kind of football games, the sports games aren't exactly highly exciting for pickups. I'm just going to move these out of the light if I can. I can't. But I only highlight Pro Evo 2 as it was so cheap. And I said, Jesus, even just have a spare box, 10 cents will do. And it turns out I don't actually have it in the collection. But I thought, okay, 10 cents. Now that's pretty damn cheap. You're not gonna get much less than that. And then I was watching a video during the week by another YouTube user called Tutti UK, and he managed to pick up 4 Master System games for a combined total of 4 pence. I think it's fair to say that that pretty much trumps any sort of low price that I've ever managed to come across in my travels. I mean, I think most of them were 3 out of 4. I think were complete as well, or possibly all of them. And at 1 pence, I don't think you can complain about condition or if the manual's missing. So and it's a good video too. So I'll put a link in the description below to it. You should check out his channel and his videos. But anyway, I suppose there's the question: what's the cheapest you've ever managed to pick up a game for? I would have thought sports games would have been high on the list of what you could get for cheap, but Tushi UK managed to pick up 4 pretty damn good Master System games for 4 pence. And next up we have 3 Master System games that I got from a forum member on the Sega 8-bit community. There's a long old story to this, and it's something that I want to do this video to kind of partially get it off my chest, because I'm not even sure what on earth happened or how you would classify it. So I'll try and kind of keep it short if possible, but I may ramble. So for for those of you who might have shorter attention or might just want to see more and more pickups, it might be a good time to skip ahead or to at least get a cup of tea. Anyway, about 3 months back, I bought a load of games from this forum member, and I'm not going to say his name, but I bought most of them, and I paid, and I organised my own courier to pick them up and have them delivered to Ireland in 2 days from the UK. And the reason why I did that is because it was a larger lot, and it meant that there would be guaranteed delivery, and the items would be secured and covered in postage. So if anything went missing, it would have been covered by the courier. And I've used them before a few times, DHL, and they've always worked out really well. So I said grand, so a fair enough rate. But anyway, when the games arrived, there was one I would say missing, and this was PGA Tour Golf. And instead there was a fairly battered up copy of Cool Spot. So I said it to the forum member. I said, oh, I think there's been a mistake, because he sent me Cool Spot and that's not, it hadn't a manual and the box was in bits and whatnot, so I said that's not the game that we had agreed upon. And to be fair, like, he had said, oh, you're dead right, my mistake, I put the wrong game in the box, I'll sort it out for you, no worries. So I said that's very good of him, and again, to his credit, he had sent plenty of pictures describing the condition, which is why I knew I wasn't as interested in Cool Spot. So he got back to me then and said, look, I'm going to post out the PGA Tour golf separately because it was my mistake. I didn't mean to not put it in the box for you." And I said, "Well, that'd be great, and I'll let you know when it arrives." About a month later, it still hadn't arrived, and I think I mailed them in between, and I said to him eventually, "Look, I don't think this is going to, I don't think this is going to ever arrive. It's probably time to put in a claim at Royal Mail." So he said, "Yeah, you're probably right. Delivery to Ireland is fairly short. To put into perspective, last week, I arranged a trade with Xfile 2708, and I think from the day he told me he shipped it, it was probably 4 days to be delivered. And I mean, whenever I've got stuff off eBay, it's usually 4 to 6 days. I mean, sometimes I've gotten it fairly fast in 2 to 3 days, but more likely 4 to 6. Certainly not 30 days. So it was fair to say at that point that, well, they weren't going to arrive. So I said to him, basically, what are we going to do about this? And he says, "Look, he lost the game. I had paid for the secure delivery of them originally. He'll find a replacement and he'll get it sent on." And I said to him again, "Look, that's very good of you. Just keep me in the loop." So a little while later, probably about a month later, I get an email saying, he's found a replacement, and he also has a few other games. Would I be interested in any? And I said, "Sure, send me a list." And I went through and I picked out a few, and we agreed a price. So I picked up Dracula and Gangster Town for a tenner, and which in retrospect I probably paid a little too much for those, given what you can get them on eBay. But anyway, I was in fairly good mood, and I was pleased that he'd sent me on the pictures. He'd found a copy of PGA Tour Golf. Again, I mean, it's a sports game. It's common, but to me, a lot of doing a trade in a community is the experience of dealing with another member of a forum or of the community. And the trade, to me, is often about the experience of communicating with the person as much as it is about getting the item. So I was in a good mood that he had said, he'd sourced it, and I said, okay, I'll go ahead with the extra games. So this was what date was it? This was August the 15th. I paid for them and said, you know that's great. I look forward to receiving them. And then at August the 30th, they still hadn't arrived. And by this stage, I was starting to get a bit worried, so I emailed again, and even though my email, I used Gmail, didn't fail, there was no kind of unreachable host or mail bounce back or nothing like that. Mail in my records is still marked as delivered. I didn't hear anything back from the seller, and I was getting worried because obviously the first copy had gone missing. And while I totally accept, mail, you're bound to have something go missing eventually. Especially, when you're into retro collecting, you do get a lot of packages. It makes sense to have a lot of, post and for something to go awry. But that happened twice in a row. I would have been skeptical of. So I gave another little while because I always give people a few days to reply anyway, and almost everyone I've ever dealt with would get back to you in 2 days or so. But I decided by September the 12th, then I said, "Now come on," I emailed them again. "Now come on, what's going on here? You're not replying to my mails. There's nothing has shown up. What's the matter?" Even just to say, "Look, geez, I'm sorry. Something. If they hadn't been posted, fair enough. But if you just had said, would have been enough." But I didn't hear back again. So finally, a few days after that, I decided, right, sod this. I decided I'll open a PayPal dispute. That way he can't ignore it. And sure enough, when I opened a PayPal dispute, got a response apologising, saying, "Look, I'm very sorry, I didn't get your mail, and it's in the post. I don't know what's gone wrong. It's in the post. It's been posted weeks. It should be with you." So give it another week. Now bearing in mind this had been nearly another month, or 3 months since the original purchase, I said, well, look, one more week, and if nothing happens, then I'll proceed to do a PayPal claim. And sure enough, a few days later, the games arrive, as you see them. And I was asked, when were they posted? When were they posted is a question. And I'll just move these out of the way for a second. Now, as far as you can't really see, I don't know if it's coming off there. The camera doesn't really want to focus on it. But basically it says the 12th of September on the Royal Mail postage sticker. As far as I was aware, these stickers are put on when you pay the postage. Certainly they are in Ireland. And generally they do seem to correlate with when someone tells me they've paid for the item and sent it off. So that would seem to me that was sent the day I sent my previous email, which was also 12th of September, and got no response to. And he just then went, alright, and posted it, 3 weeks after they should have been sent out, and without even saying a word to me. So I mean, apparently it was sitting in the depot, or it was in the mail service, and didn't get stamped till the 12th. I don't know. I've never had that happen, never even heard of it happen before. And on top of that, I mean the games are posted in this, which is an Amazon. You can see the Amazon logo. Book packaging. No bubble wrap or nothing, which is, in my opinion, a fairly poor way to ship games. And because two of them are lying together, you can just about see that the boxes have collapsed on two of them, where it's not coming out in the camera, but the bottom corner has cracked on these two games, and the boxes have collapsed in. So after all that, then they ended up getting, well, I would assume somewhat damaged in transit. But even if they weren't damaged in transit, given that type of packaging, you're asking for it. And in comparison, again, Marcus last week, everything was really bubble wrapped. That's kind of what I would expect. I sent out packages myself this week. Everything was well bubble wrapped. It's fairly poor form not to put something in a bubble wrap. And to be fair, like, I've got other people, eBay sellers and other people who've done similar packaging, and it's something that kind of grinds my gears when you put stuff that is clearly designed for something else. Like, this is designed for a book or a magazine or something, a hardback book probably, not for cases. So anyway, well, at the end of the day, I suppose the games arrived. They're all complete in the condition I was expecting, except for the box. Like, it's fine, and this one's fine. This was actually in the condition I was expecting. I knew it had a damage to the top of the label and a mark on the manual. As I said, in retrospect, I probably wouldn't have picked those up, but that's just what happens when you collect. They can't all be winners. They can't all be, oh, I got this item for 10 cents. Oh, I got this item for a penny. Oh, I got this rare game, and it cost me a $5 or it cost me a $10, and I got this massive job lot. Sometimes when you collect, things aren't always, or they don't always go as planned. Sometimes it takes several months to get your games, and sometimes they don't show up. So I mean, at the very least, the game showed up, and the seller did actually, at other times he had communicated, and he did send pictures, which is kind of what puzzled me. It's just so puzzling why it happened in the end, that he didn't kind of communicate well, and there was such a delay. But anyway, I'm nearly at my limit now, so I best leave it there. And hopefully next time the pickups, or the packages and pickups, will be back to the more, hey, I got this game and it cost me 2 pence, and it's the Smurfs 2 on the Sega Master System. So until next time.